Hello friends, welcome back to Light on Granite with Diana. We're continuing our Gentle Yoga for Fun series, focusing on our shoulders and arms today. We're going to do class on our mat, and what I need for you is to bring your belt, your block, and your pillow with you. We're going to need all of those items today. So once you've got yourself settled in a comfortable seated position on your mat, focus on elongating your spine, letting your shoulders fall away from your ears. Let your hands rest in your lap or on your legs. Close your eyes and find your breath. And on your next inhale, raise your arms up towards the sky. Follow them with your gaze, looking up, stretching up. And then we're going to release our right hand down to our right side. Stretch our left arm overhead and towards the right. And breathe. Beautiful. We're going to come back up and bring that left hand down to the floor, and this time bend that right arm overhead towards the left. And then we're going to inhale both arms up and gently release. We're going to come into a gentle twist, starting on our right side. Try to look over your right shoulder. And then back to center. And then over to the left. Look over your left shoulder. And back to center. Let's move our hands up behind our head. And open up those elbows. Now push your head into your hands and push your hands into your head. Strengthening your neck a little bit here. And release the tension, but keep your hands and your arms where they are. Now turn your head to the right. And then you're going to tilt your head down like you're looking at your armpit. And then gently bring your head back up to neutral. We're going to do that on the other side. Look to the left. And then tilt your head down like you're looking at your left armpit. And then inhale and return to center. Keep your hands on your head. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull our head down to our chest, opening up the back of our neck. And inhale back up. Exhale, release. Let those arms go back down. And from here, move into some gentle neck rolls. And then we're going to switch direction. And release. Now go ahead and grab your strap. Hold it in both hands. We're going to raise our arms up over our head, extend our arms nice and wide, creating a big Y. Look up. Excellent. Now from here, we're going to tilt to the right And we're actually going to allow our right hand to slide down the belt and come onto the floor while still holding the belt. And continue to hold the belt with your left hand as well. Just stretching that side body and your arms. Excellent. We're going to raise both arms back up towards the sky, and then we're going to tilt and do the same thing on the left side. So bring that left hand down to the floor. Right arm is extended into the air. You're still holding on to the belt, stretching your arms, stretching your side body, making sure you're breathing. And then we're going to come back up to center, and then go ahead and lower your arms down, lower the belt down. And we'll go ahead and move into shoulder rolls real quick here. So we're going to just dramatically roll our shoulders up towards our ears and down our back. And then switch direction. Excellent. Release. Now we're going to put our belt behind our back, and we're going to hold on to our belt behind our back with either hand. And what we're going to do from here is we're just going to gently raise our arms while holding the belt as far as it feels comfortable. And then we're going to gently release them back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Remember, only go as far as it's comfortable to you. So raise those arms. And gently bring them back. One last time. Raise those arms. And bring them back. Now, keeping your hand on the belt, we're going to do our side stretch again, this time with our hands behind us instead of in front of us with the belt. So we're going to plug our right hand onto the mat on our right side, holding onto the belt, extend our left arm up into the sky while holding onto the belt. Getting a nice stretch here. And then gently release that left arm down. We're going to switch sides. So the left hand is on the mat. The right arm is extending up into the air. And you're holding on to your belt. Stretching. Beautiful. And release down. And you can go ahead and put your belt off to the side now. And from here, we're going to make our way into child's pose. So take your time. And then stretch out into child's pose, elongating those arms, stretching out that spine. Reconnecting with your breath. And now I want you to slide your right hand just off the mat to the right and stack your left hand on top of it. And breathe. Beautiful. Now slide your left hand off to the left side of the mat and stack your right hand on top of it. And breathe. Beautiful. We're going to release and we're going to come up into table pose. And from here we're going to move into our cat-cow. So do this movement with your breath. Inhaling, head up, drop the belly. Exhale. Exhale, head down, round the spine. Inhale, head up. Exhale, round the spine. One more round. Inhale, head up. Exhale, round the spine. And then come back to neutral spine. Now, while we are in table here, I want you to take your right hand and you're going to bend it so your fingertips are pointing towards your feet. The back of your hand is on the mat, opening up that wrist. And gently release. And then we're going to do that with our left hand. Bend that left hand, left fingertips pointing towards your feet. Stretching that wrist open. And then come back to regular table. And then we're going to do one more wrist stretch here. So we're actually going to twist our hand as much as you can so your fingertips are pointing towards your feet. This time the palm of your hand is still on the mat. And breathe. And gently release. We're going to do our left hand, twisting it so those fingertips are pointing back towards our feet. And breathe. And release. Excellent. So from here, friends, we're going to come up onto our knees and we're going to interlock our hands behind our back. Go ahead and extend those arms, open up the chest, take a nice deep breath, and then we're going to exhale as we forward fold and pull your hips towards your ankles as you're forward folding, like you're coming into child's pose. And then inhale back up onto your knees. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So follow your breath. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale. You're going to forward fold. Inhale. Come back up on your knees. And we're going to do one more round. So again, with your breath, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, forward fold, pulling those hips back towards your ankles. Excellent. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to release our hands. We're going to come back into table pose. And from here, we are going to push up into downward dog. It's your first downward dog, so know that you don't have to straighten your legs if that doesn't feel good to you. But we are going to go ahead and pedal our feet, loosen up our calves a little bit. Take a nice deep breath. Let it go. And then release back down into table onto the mat. Great. So from here, friends, we are going to do 3 rounds of dolphin pose. So we're going to put our forearms on the mat. Our hands are going to be flat on the mat. And what we're going to do is we're going to just push our hips up into the sky, working on straightening our legs just like we do in downward dog. And if you can't completely straighten your legs, don't you worry about it. And breathe. And then gently bring those knees back down to the mat. We're going to do 2 more rounds. So slowly push back up, hips back up. Straighten those legs if you can. And breathe. And then gently bring those knees back down to the mat. Beautiful. One more time. Hips up towards the ceiling. And gently come back down into table and then push back into child's pose. Find your breath. Excellent. So from child's pose, we're going to take a moment and we're going to come up onto our knees and we're going to get situated to come into a modified side plank. So our right knee is going to be bent and on the floor. Our left leg is going to be extended. Our right arm is going to be supporting us. And our left arm is up overhead. Just get stable. Find your breath. Once you're stable, we're going to use that top arm that's extended. We're going to do 3 complete arm circles. So when you're ready, slowly move into your arm circles, doing 1 round, 2, and 3. And then from here, bring that left arm overhead, if you can, reaching towards the right. Excellent. And then gently release, come back into table, and push back into child's pose. And breathe. And then we're going to come back up onto our knees and get situated to do that same sequence on the left side. So you're on your left knee, your right leg is extended, your left arm is straight and supporting you, your right arm is straight up into the air. Engage your core, find your balance, and then let's move into arm circles. 3 big circles. Excellent. Now from here, go ahead and reach over towards the left as much as you can. Excellent. And then gently come into table and push back into child's pose. Great. So from here, we're going to push back up into downward dog. We're going to inhale, and we're going to lift that right leg up into the air as far as it feels comfortable. And then bend that right leg. Bring it in towards your chest, towards your arms. And then exhale, straighten that leg out. Inhale, bend that leg in. Exhale, straighten it out. One last time. Inhale, bend that knee in. Exhale, straighten that leg out. And then go ahead and release it down. Come down onto your knees and come into child's pose. Excellent. Let's come back up into table and then push back into downward dog. And we're going to do the same thing with our left leg. So we're going to inhale, raise that left leg up into the sky. Then bend that left knee, bring it in towards your torso, towards your arms. Exhale, extend it out. Inhale, bend it in. Exhale, extend it out. One last time. Inhale, bend it in. Exhale, extend it out. Release that foot down, bend your knees, and come into child's pose. Excellent. Now let's roll back up into table. And from here, friends, we're going to come into balancing table pose. So we're going to extend our right arm out in front of us, and we're going to extend our left leg behind us. Try to keep them even. Engage your core. Keep your gaze low to find your balance. And then I want you to dip both your left foot and your right hand down to the floor. And then raise them up as high as you can get them. And then bring them back to center. And then slowly, with control, we're going to move our right arm and our left leg out to the side, and we're going to hold it for a moment. Inhale back to center. Go ahead, release that leg and that arm down and push back into child's pose and rest. And then we're going to roll back up into table, and we're going to do that again on the opposite side, extending the left arm and extending the right leg. Find your balance. And then we're going to dip our left hand and our right leg down to the mat, and then raise them up as high as we can go, and bring them back to center. And then we're going to extend our arm and our leg out to the side with control. And back to center. Release that arm and that leg and push back into child's pose. Feel free to have your arms along the sides of your legs this time to give your arms a break. And then we're going to come up into a seated position, and we're going to grab our block. So our next pose here, friends, is we're going to get situated. We're going to come onto our side, resting our head on our block. Have our left arm underneath us, right arm's on top. And what we're going to do is we are going to grab our hands behind our back. So we're looking towards the left, our arms are pointed towards the right, and our feet are actually flat on the mat and our knees are bent. So our hips are square and our upper torso is twisted, and we are opening up our chest. This is an intense stretch, so only do what feels comfortable to you. Breathe. And gently release your hands, and very slowly push yourself up to a seated position, and we're going to switch sides. So this time our head is on our block and we're facing our right side. We're going to grab our hands, extend our arms, open up our chest. Our feet are planted on the mat. Our hips are planted on the mat. And breathe. And then gently release your hands. And you can push yourself up. Move the block to the side. And then again, we're going to rest in child's pose for a moment. Excellent. So while we're in child's pose here, we're going to lift our head and our torso. We're going to grab our block. We're going to bring it in front of us. Feel free to expand your knees a little bit to give yourself room so you can actually have a hip opening stretch while we are stretching our shoulders and our arms. And what we're going to do is we're going to rest our wrists on top of the block. And we're going to let our head fall between our arms, resting on the mat. And relax. And breathe. We've transitioned into our restorative poses here. So we're going to hold this pose for a little while. And while we do, I want you to focus on the sensations that you're feeling in your body. Make sure your breath is even and smooth. Try to release any tension you're holding in your legs. Release any tension you're holding in your back. Let your shoulders be open and soft. Take a nice deep inhale and let it go. And very gently slide your hands off the block. We're going to come into table here and we're going to do cat-cow just to loosen our spine up. So when you're ready, inhale, head up, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, head up. Exhale, round the spine. One more time. Inhale, head up. Exhale, round the spine. And come back to neutral. So the next pose we're going to do is thread the needle. You're going to want your pillow and your block. So we want to situate our pillow so that our head is going to be resting on it. We're going to come into table pose here. Move your pillow between your hands and put your block a little bit further up on your mat past your pillow. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale our right arm up towards the sky as far as it wants to go. And then exhale, we're going to thread our right arm underneath our torso towards the left while it's resting on the mat. We're going to rest our head on our pillow. And then our left arm is going to grab onto the block. And your block has 3 different heights, so you decide what height feels good for you. So your arm is going to be supported by the block, but stretching, while you're also releasing tension in your right shoulder If you're feeling any discomfort, you always have the option to move the block and just let your hand rest on the mat. Have nice smooth inhales and exhales. Let yourself relax. Let your right shoulder open and stretch. You're doing great, friends. A few more breaths here. Take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Slowly unwind, coming back into table. Let's move that block on the other side. And then we're going to go ahead and come into thread the needle, leading with our left arm. So inhale that left arm up towards the sky as high as it will go. Exhale, thread it underneath your torso, coming down, letting your head rest on your pillow. And then your top arm, your right arm, is going to be extended, resting on the block at whatever height feels good for you. And get settled. Try to surrender into the pose. Reconnect with your breath. Notice the sensations you're feeling in your body. And just try to let yourself be soft. You're doing great, friends. A few more breaths here. Take a nice deep inhale and let it go. And slowly push yourself back up to table. And we're going to move our block off the mat. Can keep your pillow where it is. And we're actually going to turn our bodies around. So we're sitting on the mat, and then we're going to come down and rest our backs onto our pillow. Our head should be resting on the mat. Knees bent, feet planted. And once you're in position here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to inhale our arms up overhead onto the mat behind our head. And exhale them back down to our sides. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale them back down to your sides. One last time. Inhale those arms up overhead. And exhale, release those arms back down to your sides. And then I want you to extend your arms out, making a nice T shape. And we're going to come into a supine twist. So we're going to let our legs fall to the left as our gaze is over our right arm. Doesn't matter if your legs touch the ground or not. Try to relax and breathe. And then inhale those knees back up to center. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to let our knees fall to the right and our gaze is going to be over our extended left arm. And breathe. And then inhale those knees back up. We can release our arms down to our sides. And then we're going to put our feet together into cobbler pose while we're still lying on our pillow. So the diamond shape that you're making between your pelvis and your feet can be as wide or as narrow as it feels comfortable to you. And if this hurts your knees for any reason, just let your legs relax in whatever position feels comfortable. And we're just going to stay in this pose for a few moments, relaxing, surrendering into the mat. If thoughts come, notice them and let them go. Try to stay present in this moment. And take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Now slowly come on to either side. We're going to move our pillow and then go ahead and extend out into Shavasana. Your legs outstretched, your arms by your sides, neutral spine. And we'll take a few moments to totally relax here. Take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, rock your head side to side, and then when you're ready, roll onto either side into a fetal position. And then slowly push up into a seated position. So get yourself comfortable. Feel free to sit on a chair, sit on a block, sit on a pillow. We're going to move into our pranayama and meditation. So make sure you're comfortable. Once you've found a good seated position, focus on elongating your spine, letting the crown of your head rise towards the ceiling. Gently resting your hands on your knees, on your thighs, or in your lap, whatever feels good to you. We're going to close our eyes. And today we're going to practice our ujjayi breath, our ocean breath. So on our inhale, we're going to constrict our throat, and we're going to make a slight audible sound. And on our exhale, just exhale through your nose normally. Inhale, constrict your throat. Exhale, normal. Continue at your own pace. And make these breaths as deep and as full as feels comfortable to you. As you're breathing, focus on the rise and the fall of your chest. Notice how the air feels as it moves in and out of your nostrils. You're doing great. A few more rounds. And then release your ujjayi breath and take a regular, nice, deep inhale. And let it go. Wonderful. So now we're going to move into our counting meditation today. So the goal is to count to the number 10 and repeat. And what we're going to do is one full inhale and exhale counts as one breath. So you're going to try to get to the number 10, but as you're breathing and as you're counting, if you notice a thought fly by, then you need to return to 1. So this is going to be a self-awareness practice where you get to really notice how sharply you can focus your attention, and notice how often our thoughts try to intrude our peaceful mind. And realize that the number 10 is arbitrary. It doesn't matter if you get to the number 10. The goal of this practice is to sharpen and exercise our awareness. and gently release. Let's take a nice deep inhale and let it go. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, hands together, bring them in front of your heart. Bow your head to your heart. Thank yourself for your incredible practice today. For stretching and pushing yourself in new ways, and for taking time to reconnect with your breath, with your body, and with this moment. Thank you so much, friends, for taking this time with me. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Sending you love and light. Namaste.